Hello, Infinite Audit friends. Disruption is sometimes described as a wave crashing into established business practices or like an earthquake, destroying the solid foundation on which an organization has lived for years or even decades. The biggest challenge for internal audit practitioners today is to accept disruption in its true form, recognizing what's basically matter most or maybe like what's coming and educating organization on how to harness the truly valuable disruptive power. This is nothing new in internal auditing, but understanding is at the heart of a based assurance is very incredibly important. In this episode 9, we will discuss about what does internal audit look like in the age of disruption. This topic specifically requested by Mas Tulusta Sipahutar. Okay, Mas Tulusta Sipahutar, ERM and Internal Audit Head Department of PT Indika Indonesia Resources. So let's talk about the what's basically important or maybe like what's does internal audit look like in the age of the era of the on the disruption era. So Infinite Audit friends, let's start the discussion by Im. How do you see auditor in today's era?
Okay. Hello, Bunga. Hello, Infinite friends. Good to see you again. Thank you, Bunga, for the questions and for the introduction. And we're back with the English edition of Infinite Audit Talk. Thank you, Mas Tulus. Is it Tulus the singer? No, I'm just kidding.
Of course not.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Luz, who sent us the idea of today's topic. It's about auditor and disruption, if I'm not mistaken. So, how I see auditor in today's era. First of all, the shifting in audit area, of course, is very visible, right? So now there are emerging risks like IT risk, technology adoption risk, and then privacy risk, information security risk, etc., which demands skill set and competencies of auditors to perform assurance and advice in those areas too. So before we are just limited to like traditional risk, if I can say it as traditional. Now there are modern risks like privacy risk, and then information security risk, and we as auditor need to like address that too. So I think we are now cannot just stay with the traditional skill set, if I can say it, traditional again, traditional skill set, but now we need modern skill set too, and also much more catastrophic risk. If before catastrophic only means natural disaster, for example, now even technology could destroy an organization overnight. So yeah, I think we need to address those issues too. And then the second one is about the increasing of effectiveness and efficiency of auditors' work. Automation makes it possible to transfer the time-consuming works, repeatable works, and the data analysis, etc., to the machine. So I think by that, the auditor could focus on the more strategic, riskier area, and in the end, we could provide the biggest value-adding role possible to be performed by auditor. In the long run, I personally believe that auditor will work together with artificial intelligence to provide the biggest value to the organization. So rather than replacing the auditor, technology will make it possible for auditor to reallocate themselves for the more value-adding areas. I believe that way. And the third one, I think since I work in data analytics area, I will mention about that too. With data analytics, we could analyze larger data sets and identify outliers and anomalies real time, and even performing predictive and prescriptive analytics. So with greater depth, accuracy, and even speed. And then the last one, I believe that audit function will not be fully replaced by technology. I know that all the areas will be impacted by disruption, but I do believe at least in the near future, auditor will not be fully replaced. Yeah, that's what I personally believe. Okay, Bunga, I already talked about age of disruption from an auditor side. Now, how do you see it from management side? Since your background is in risk management, how do you see the opportunity to build in risk management software can increase the strength of the first line of defense?
Well, interesting. Basically, on a more straightforwarding level, one way out of this disruption trap is to improve the internal audit function. For example, internal audit department can embrace innovation by working smarter, using data analytics for managing the risk of organization, and also robotics by using robotic automation processes. Internal audit can build software or application that enables the first line of defense or management to analyze the entire data, not just a small sample, but like almost the population. And in this way, internal audit can use the source and provide a way for the first tier to automate their risk management. This is basically very important and crucial because the fact is, as stated in PwC survey, PricewaterhouseCoopers survey in 2017, 70% of the board of directors and 77% of the management thought that their internal audit function had not done much to help manage disruption. More than half even consider internal audit to lack the relevant expertise to deal with the disruption. Even as long as I remember, more than 30% even say that the internal audit resources are insufficient to be of benefit. That's some things that not only challenging, but also something that we have to cope very very fast and very very soon. And yeah, that's maybe what I have in mind. And by what can we do to assess the management?
Okay, so we are talking about management now. Yes, since auditor focus everything in them to assess the management, so I think there's always a question about what can auditor brings to the game in this disruption area, especially in assessing the management. So I believe that our role is to protect them in the middle of this uncertainties. Okay, so I think first of all, what we need to do is we have to build our capacity. We build the necessary capacity, upgrading our skill set and competencies with the necessary ones. And of course, we need to invest in training and development, stay close with the experts and the board, especially, and stay updated about the risk, about the business environment, so we can protect the management in the middle of disruption and uncertainties. And then I think the second one is about utilize the technology, since we cannot prevent the disruption, we can only just utilize it. So I think with data analytics, for example, machine learning, we can use continuous audit, for example. So I believe that rather than complaining about the disruption, we can just utilize the technology. And then I think we have to help the organization navigate the business environment, the emerging risks. So we have to stay ahead to understand the risk, to understand the environment, so we can advise something to the organization whenever it's needed, because we know much more than the management about the risk, about the environment, for example. And then I think what we can do is being agile, being adaptive, flexible, audit what is really needed instead of stick to the plan, for example. Because if there is a new risk, we have to audit them instead of like, oh no, we don't have that in our plan. So yeah, I think being agile, being adaptive and flexible is really needed in this era. And then don't forget to collaborate with other lines of defense, the first line and the second line, because with a lot of risks we cannot finish them, we cannot solve them by ourselves. So I think it's always needed to collaborate with other lines of defense. And then yeah, I think in conclusion, we have to protect organization from the potential risk in this era, since the risk always emerge. There is always a new risk each time, each second. So I believe that we have to protect the organization, especially organization value, from the risks. Okay, I will ask you a question, Bunga. Let me think. I want something practical. So what are some practical tips and techniques to strengthen internal audit in this era of disruption?
Okay, what are some practical tips and techniques? Basically, there are maybe like couple of the tips or techniques that we can apply, but let me describe about four maybe tips. First one is focus on assurance. Second, collaboration with the expert. Third, invest in disruptive technology related to the the disruption, of course, and putting new strategy to work, embrace and utilize new technology in carrying out the internal audit tasks. First, about how to focus on occurrence. I do believe that internal audit should always focus on doing their best, of course, by continuing to focus on risk management, control, and governance, or we call as a GRC. Auditors can help ensure that processes are designed and running effectively, regardless the speed of the disruption. By proactively helping organizations anticipate emerging risks and technologies change, internal audit can be positioned as an authority and help prepare organization to respond to disruptive events involving stakeholders and experts in their fields, aligning the result of internal audit work with the expectation of the key stakeholders. This is, of course, are related for the second tips about the collaboration with the experts. I do believe that work with the experts in their fields who apply disruptive technologies and focus on the most relevant and significant issues can be, some things that can enhance our power to deal with the disruption itself. And then third is invest in disruptive technology related trainings. How we can, always maybe attend training to learn about the new technology and the complexities, risks that arise and exist within the organization. The head of the audit unit should build a management model for innovative, adaptive, and flexible employees to fit into the talent pool who are highly specialized in technological competence and ability to understand and utilize new tools, techniques, and processes quickly. And last but not least is about how putting the new technology to work, embrace and utilize new technology in carrying out internal audit tasks. I do believe that internal audit must be at the forefront of adapting artificial intelligence or IA, cognitive computing, and maybe smart robots. And auditors must understand how technology such as blockchain work and how use them within the organization. They also should take advantage of the machine learning and data analytics in the process of the audit itself to, provide real-time auditing, which is required in this kind of era. I do believe that's maybe couples of tips and tricks that maybe we have to improve first.
Okay. I think we share the similar arguments about technology, risk, and collaboration, right? Yeah.
Right. That's like maybe the very very important case and crucial things that need to be elaborated in this kind of disruptive era. Because yes, if we are talking about the disruptive era, even right now we already in the 5.0 industries stage era. That's not only important but also challenging as well. Well, but what aspects of auditor could then be, replaced by technology?
Wow, that's such an interesting question. Let me collect my brain. Okay, there are certain aspects or skill which couldn't be replaced by automations, I believe. For example, creativity, arts, yeah, at least in the near future. And for auditor, I think the first one gonna be professional judgment. Shout out to Mbak Reno Rafli, who mentioned to us before that machine will just replace our function for the basic level, while judgment, which is the heart of auditing, couldn't be replaced because it contains complex thinking, complex problem solving, combination of a lot of perspectives. So I do believe that professional judgment will be the skills that remain critical that machine couldn't have. And then the second one, I think concluding skills. Is it even a skill? Yeah, we are the brain behind all the conclusion and the recommendation. Machine will show us the insight, the pattern, the anomalies, irregularities, and others, but still we are the ones who would throw the conclusion and recommendation. So I believe that machine will just show us the informations, the needed data, but still we are the one who decide everything. And then the third one is empathy. In real life, we cannot see all cases the same. Yeah, in real life, I believe that we should see the cases, case by case. We have to understand the reasoning behind everything our clients do. So I do believe that the interpretation of gray areas is the skill that is important yet machine couldn't have. So yeah, for machine it's binary, true or false, correct or wrong. But in real life, gray areas do exist, and yeah, auditor is the one who will decide everything behind those gray areas. And then I think communication still gonna be the skill, the needed skill that machine couldn't have. So how we persuade our clients to believe in the recommendation and do the recommendation, perform the follow-up that is needed. I believe that the communication auditors do is the one skill that is needed yet machine couldn't like mimic. So yeah, that's the aspect of auditor that couldn't be replaced by technology. And then the last one, I believe that strategic thinking is also important. Okay, since you give me such a hard question, let me think. Okay, what should change, Bunga? What should change in using data to conduct audits in the area of disruption? What do you think?
Well, in this era, the nature of internal audit was only limited to compliance staff or some things like that is no longer meets the management expectation. We do believe that all of us agree about that, right? Internal auditor are not just watchdogs waiting for the inspection process to be carried out at the final stage, but from the start, internal auditors should be, able to provide assurance and consultative inputs to management independently to ensure that the entire process of the organization business process is on the right track. And to this situation, auditor will be involved in business analysis and high value tasks. And I do believe that analysis and advisory require a high degree of, specialization as well as opportunities for efficient and mobile consulting services. In addition, the role of the auditor is also very large in overcoming the occurrence of the underground economy, maybe of the organization, through the use of the big data, the more comprehensive population data, not only just like a couple of samples or certain level percentage of the samples. Audit carried out by the auditors no longer rely on data sampling, so that fraud due to the financial engineering can be minimized. That's what I can explain about how the change of the data usage between this current condition and the future. And by what tips you can share for auditors out there regarding this?
Okay, thank you for the questions. I think I don't know if I'm qualified to give anyone tips, but okay, this is what I have in mind. So first of all, please utilize the technology. We can't prevent it from happening, but we can instead utilize it. So for example, analytics, machine learning, continuous audit, please adopt them to our process, to our audit process. And then the second one is about stay updated about the business environment, the risk, opportunities. So we can give the advice to the management better since we understand the environment, the risk, and the opportunities. And then also stay close to the board so we can understand their expectations. I think also beside the board, we can also stay close to the expert to stay updated and being the first one to know the newest information. And then build the necessary capacity, upgrade our skills and competencies with the necessary one. I think it's also important. And about planning, please consider about being agile, adaptive, flexible, and yeah, we have to audit what is really needed. Don't stuck with the annual plan when it's not relevant anymore. And then we mentioned about it before about collaborations. Please collaborate with other lines of defense. I think that's what I have in mind. And to conclude our discussion, Bunga, how do you see audit being conducted in the future?
Well, audit being conducted in the future. Thank you, Mbak. I see one of them, it can be applied through robotic process automation, which is an automation method that is carried out using robot technology. In this case, the robot used is not, of course, robot like Hollywood movie, but software that can work automatically, which is the process automation technology that can be used to replace human tasks in various fields, of course, in a certain level, especially in accounting and financial practices that involve repetitive activities, such as the transaction, regular one, and some things like that. The things that we have to consider first is robotic process automation capabilities that can replace the role of human in the audit process has couples of limitation, which is already mentioned by you previously. How can robotic process automation technology replace the role of human workers who are usually used for the audit process? There are several capabilities of the robot automation that make this technology able to do it. First is, software based on robotic process automation is can learn about the human interaction. Information technology expert design the software based on the kind of system to be able to imitate the way human interact, and this can help by applying rules to carry out the repetitive processes that were previously carried out by humans, but they cannot work independently because they require human intervention in certain cases, like maybe what already mentioned before, empathy, and any kind of social complex algorithm, logic, yeah. But we also have to believe that, and also happy because the flexibility is incredible. The existence of the robotic process automation is needed by auditors because of the flexible way of using it. Robotic process automation technology can be applied to various audit activities, and flexibility is closely related to the ease of robotic process automation in implementing standards based on the predominated roles. And it also, of course, can work tirelessly, not like us, who, like called by maybe generasi mager or, COVID-19 generation. Unlike humans, robotic audit systems are capable of tirelessly auditing large amount of data. In addition, the audit result obtained also have a maintained quality, unlike the audit process by human personnel, who can experience quality change along with the physical and also emotional condition. So yes, that's an interesting facts about the audit in the future, and we do believe that, of course, me as especially believe that this kind of robotic process automation maybe like can be conducted not 10 or 20 years from now, but even very very in this short run, like maybe 5 years, and that's something that very very feasible and possible at the same time. And infinite audit friends, finally our discussion about how we respond to the disruption at the level of role as an auditor or even as an audit unit has been completed. And we do really thank you to Mas Tulus, who already asked us to discuss about this kind of issue. And for you guys, if you would like to discuss more about the internal audit with us, please drop your question below in this comment section, or please send us through Instagram direct message, or maybe like a link in direct message. You can discuss further about the how we will conduct audit in the future. Thank you very much, and see you on the 10th edition of Internal Audit Talks. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye. Okay, bye.